hello everyone and welcome back guys to AOR. We're back for round 16 of the season here at the Russian Grand Prix. And obviously if you guys missed out on the last video, I would highly recommend going back and checking out the Singapore Grand Prix. It was an interesting one at the end of the day. But yeah, coming into the Russian Grand Prix, 6 rounds to go in the championship, and we're currently at 37 points down to Humperdinck. We definitely need to start trying to claw back some points in these next couple of races here. And yeah, we start this campaign, you know, the fight back, if you will, hopefully the fight back in this championship here at the Russian Grand Prix. Currently on board with my fastest qualifying lap, and already there's been a bit of chaos at the start of this GP because Humperdinck actually disconnected just before jumping into qualifying there, so he was going to have to start from the back of the grid here. You can see currently on my lap we're 66 thousandths, I think, behind Stewie at the end of Sector 1 there. And as we head down in towards Sector 2, the only lap I'd done so far, it was alright, but it was at the start of the session, it was a bit overcast, so there was definitely a lot more grip, a lot more pace to find here as we head down through Sector 2. You can see we're about half second up on my previous best here. Stewie going even quicker there, 1 minute 31.8 was a very competitive lap time here as we head out onto Sector 3 though. Oh, using the overtake mode, activating the ERS here. You can see we're about 6 tenths up on my previous lap here, so it could be very close between myself and Stewie as we head down in towards Sector 3. We're about a 10th up now on the Renault car here as we head down in towards the chicane here, trying to monitor the power on the exit there, dumping a different wheel out onto that curb and face the wheel spin there, and in towards the final few corners of the lap, trying to keep it nice and tidy, ride the curbs as best as possible here. We're still about 6 tenths up on my previous lap here as we head down in towards the final corner there. Nice and tidy run through the penultimate one, keeping it nice and tidy through the final corner there, as early on the power as we can. It's a 131.714 there, so we do snatch pole position away from Stewie right at the very end of the session there. And yeah, really happy with that time right in the dying stages of qualifying there. You know, we effectively gave ourselves one shot at the end of it. I mean, we would have been starting block down sort of P4, P5 ready for this Grand Prix. But yeah, we really do need to try and get some good point scoring positions this weekend there. And yeah, like I said, if we didn't get that running, we would have started P6 on the grid there. But it is pole position just ahead of Stewie. We're now 14-0 against Jamie in the driver comparison as well. They're in qualifying. He's still yet to out-qualify me this season. But obviously qualifying isn't what matters, unfortunately, at the moment. We need this win. You know, I said this last week at Singapore. Unfortunately, things didn't quite pan out how I would have wanted in that Grand Prix. So yeah, we need the win here today. We need to try and start cutting down the advantage. The Humperdinck's got 37 points. Is a big margin that we need to overhaul in the final 6 rounds of this championship. Not impossible, but yeah, we definitely need to try and get some wins under our belt as we get ready though for the start of the Russian Grand Prix here. Hopefully we get a nice clean getaway and just see where we end up in the opening couple of laps. I'm sure Humperdinck will be going for the alternate strat, which is a bit quicker around this Russian Grand Prix circuit, but we are ready though on the grid. It's 5 lights here at the Russian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go there. Once again, no time being wasted off the start there, and with one of the longest runs towards turn 1 there. That was not the start we needed as we head through the first kink here. You can see Stewie on the inside there. We've got ever so slightly better top end speed as we head down in towards the first braking zone there. Jamie on the outside, Stewie on the inside, but we do get it slowed down nice and tidily through the first couple of corners there, and yeah, we do hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix, so that was exactly what we needed off the start of this race there. Jamie actually momentarily sneaked himself up into P2 of the Grand Prix there, but Stewie gets back up the inside there. He's going to slam the door shut on the exit of the corner there. And I mean, Jamie and I, we need to try and get a good result in the Teams Championship as well here, because for the first time in a very long time, it was actually Ferrari ahead of us in the Constructors' Championship. So yeah, we need to try and outscore those guys as well, you know, not only for my title fight for the drivers, but also for the Constructors' Championship as well here as we head out through the end of Sector 2, getting ready out on to the back straight here. And already we're trying to put a little bit of a margin over Stewie and Schweiz just behind us here. You know, we need to try and pull out that margin, get it over 1 second. You know, we made the mistake at Hungary where we tried to control the pace too much, and it really just didn't work out well for us at the end of that Grand Prix. So yeah, this time out, I was going for a bit of a different attack strategy here. I was just going to try and pull the margin as quickly as we could in the Grand Prix here. And as we head down in towards Sector 3 here, just locking up ever so slightly through the left-hander there, getting very close to hitting the inside wall there, but Stewie behind us actually does hit the inside wall there. Jamie told me in a party there, took a big chunk out of his front wing, so that could be a golden opportunity for us. Schweiz moves up into P2 of the Grand Prix there. Stewie opts to stay out, but you can see by the end of lap 1, we've already got a 1.2 second margin over Schweiz just behind us here, and that was absolutely perfect. This was exactly what we needed in this Grand Prix here, but we can't afford to get complacent. We need to continue pushing over these next few laps here, and you can see a 1.6 second margin by the end of lap 2 there, and over the next few laps we would just be trying to slowly but surely eke it out. Quick but careful was definitely the attack strategy in the early stages of this Grand Prix there. 2.1 over Schweiz, as you can see by the end of lap 4 there, and it was holding at about the 2 second margin after those opening couple of laps here. And as we head towards the end of lap 9 though, Jamie is actually going to re-inherit P2 in the Grand Prix there, because Schweiz and Stewie are both going to dive into the pits. So that's going to mean we've got a 4 second margin over Jamie, but he needs to pit to watch for the undercut in this Grand Prix there. So this could mean we're going to have to sting out an extra 2 laps over a lot of these drivers here. That could potentially be quite a big undercut on us pulled out in the second half of this stint there. We can see picking up our first warning of the day by the end of lap 10 there. That was not what we needed in this Grand Prix. But Russia, it can be quite an easy track to make a lot of corner cutting mistakes on. So definitely, you know, if we could keep the warnings and the penalties low, that was definitely going to be useful in this Grand Prix there. Humperdinck, though, like I predicted, was going for the quicker alternate strategy there. The mediums to the softs probably saves you a good sort of 6-7 seconds in this Grand Prix, just because obviously you're in the DRS, so you can hang on to the soft runners there, and then obviously they've got nothing they can do to fight you on a set of mediums in the second half of the Grand Prix. But yeah, Constant Ryan as well, opting to stay out 1 lap longer in this Grand Prix, so everyone else, you know, lap 11 was the optimum time to pit according to the game here, but I mean, people pit in lap 8 and beyond there. But Jamie, he managed to get the overcut on Schweiz and Stewie there, and yeah, we now move ourselves back up into effectively the net lead of the Grand Prix there. Stewie sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1:36.2 as well there, so only about 3/10 quicker than myself. But yeah, we just need to try and pull out the margin as best as possible over these next couple of laps there. Constant Ryan dives into the pit lane, so we're now back up into P2 of the Grand Prix there. 14 seconds behind Humperdinck in the lead of the race there, but coming towards the end of lap 13, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, we took 1.7 seconds at Humperdinck on that lap alone there. The gap to Jamie now up towards 6 seconds behind us here. And now as we head on to the end of lap 16, there were still battles going on behind us. Schweiz and Jamie, as well as I think X-Power and Stewie, all having a bit of a battle in this Grand Prix. End of lap 16 though, Humperdinck dives in for his pit stop in this Grand Prix there, so that's going to mean he's going to have to try and fight his way back through the rest of that pack in the second half of this Grand Prix. I think he's going to come out just behind Stewie in this racer, as yeah, once again Jamie moves back up into P3 of the Grand Prix there. But by lap 20, he'd already been able to get through that pack. Unfortunately, Schweiz had actually crashed with Jamie, taking up both pretty much out of contention there, which only meant that Humperdinck actually had to get past X-Power and Stewie there. So that meant, you can see, with 8 laps to go with this Grand Prix, the gap to Humperdinck 8 seconds behind us here, and you know, he would be pushing on that quicker, fresher set of the soft compound tyres here. And you know, we were in a bit of a difficult position at this stage of the race, because we both knew it was going to be close towards the end, and we both only had 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So it was very much a case of whoever got that warning first, that extra penalty, they were basically going to be out of this Grand Prix there. You can see Humperdinck 1.3 seconds taken out of us on that first lap there. You can see lap 23 now, 5 laps to go with this Grand Prix, and he's still taking about 1.3 seconds a lap out of us here. So it was looking really, really close towards the end of the Grand Prix there. Made quite a big mistake towards the end of lap 23, and the gap to Humperdinck behind us is going to be now down to just 4.1 seconds. So still, yeah, taking about 1.2, 1.3 seconds out of us every single lap at the moment here. And yeah, it was looking like right towards the very end, it was going to be very, very tight here. But like the softs tend to have, you know, tend to in these Grand Prix, towards the end of the stint, they're taking a little bit less time out. I mean, lap after lap, they're only about 9/10 of a second out of us on that lap there. And now with 2 laps to go of the Grand Prix, the gap was just down to 2.5 seconds here. And yeah, it looked like at this stage of the race, we only had 3 seconds worth of pens. Humperdinck had actually picked up his second penalty there, taking him up to 6 on the whole. And as we head out on to the final lap of the Grand Prix here, Humperdinck, as we head down in towards the final sector, he brought down that gap. It was down to about 1.2, but we were just keeping it clean, keeping it tidy, because I knew if he got close enough, we could let him by. We didn't have that extra 3 seconds worth of time penalties that he didn't. As we head through the final corner, it is going to be P1 in the Russian Grand Prix there. We didn't get the fastest lap, so unfortunately we only took 6 points out of Humperdinck there, but the gap back down to 31. Like I said, that was a must-win Grand Prix at the end of the day there, and still, obviously, with the penalties, winning by 3.6 seconds ahead of Humperdinck at the end of the day there. But yeah, that was exactly the race we needed. Quick but controlled at the front of the field there. And yeah, after a couple of rough results in obviously not being able to make Monza last, and Singapore, obviously not a good result, we needed that win in this championship. And yeah, we'll hope to try and drag this title battle out for as long as we can there. But yeah, only 6 points taken out of him means the gap now is back down to 31 at the top of the table there. Humperdinck's on 291. We are on 260 there with 5 rounds to go. It is still all to play for here. This is definitely a very, very good little title battle. But obviously we need to be quick. We need to be consistent. And we just need to try and take, 6, 7 points out of him every single Grand Prix is exactly what we need to do in the later stages of this championship. It is not over until it is over, though. So yeah, definitely we're going to try and fight this out right to the very end of this season. Obviously, if you guys are new around here, make sure you get yourself subscribed because, yeah, this is definitely a title battle that I don't think you guys want to miss. Hopefully, we can continue to drag it out for as long as possible there. But, yeah, it is the race victory ahead of Humperdinck, who had 6 seconds worth of pen. Stewie in 3rd, LCR Ben in 4th there. And you can see, having a look, we actually only got a penalty and a warning in that Grand Prix. So, yeah, did keep it nice and tidy there. Constant Ryan in 5th, X-Power in 6th, Schweiss 7th ahead of Jamie in 8th. Means that I'm pretty certain we just re-inherit the championship lead in the constructors there by 2 points over Ferrari. But Iron Weasel in 9th, Giza in 10th, and then Riley not making it through to the end of the Grand Prix there. But yeah, that'll do us then for the Russian Grand Prix. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Do get yourself subscribed, and hopefully we will see you guys back here next time out for round 17 at Japan.